Hey everybody, welcome back to Travel Trailer Nation. Right there, Travel Trailer Nation. Hopefully you're a part of it. I wanted to talk to you today about social media and the RV community. So what do tow vehicles, tires, and debates over the best travel trailer brand have in common? And that's the amount of nastiness that they can stir up on social media, even on RV sites, specific even to a trailer brand. If you've ever posted a question in an RV Facebook group, like, what's the best travel trailer I can buy? Or will my tow vehicle tow this trailer? Any number of questions, but those two tend to come up a lot. And it really stirs up a lot of nastiness online. And I think if you've ever gone out there and watched some of the responses, you might even see some of the people actually put an emoji there of a person eating popcorn to see what the responses are going to be. That's because they know what's coming. They know it's going to be nasty. Instead of helpful responses, you're often seeing these folks that have posted an innocent question get criticism. They get sarcasm and just flat out rudeness like, well, you're the type of person that shouldn't own an RV. You should probably stick to motels. And that's really, really unnecessary. And not long ago, the RV lifestyle was really about connecting with people at a campground, campfire, making friends, talking about your issues, talking about your type of travel trailer. But now, in the current day, it seems that much of that interaction is happening online. And unfortunately, the people that are new are not getting the help they need. They're getting met with this kind of resistance instead of just basic kindness. So if you just spend 10 minutes in an RV forum or a Facebook group, you'll see it, people shaming others for asking a simple question, beginner questions like, how do I take care of my roof? How do I determine what my towing capacity is? Any sort of question around RV maintenance sometimes is met with the same thing. And yes, there's no doubt that some people get into this lifestyle not being prepared for it, not really knowing what they're doing. And you have to remember, too, that a lot of that falls back on the dealership who didn't do a very good job of educating them when they went and purchased a trailer. So instead of mocking them, why not be helpful and guide them? And that's exactly why I've written the 3 books on travel trailers. And I also have a 4th book that talks about some of the interesting experiences we've had. But it was really to help people not make a mistake when they go to purchase a travel trailer. Remember, everybody started out somewhere not knowing everything they know today. The old expression, you don't know what you don't know, applies to a lot of people that are getting into this. So you really have to think back to how it was for you when you first started. Remember, the fallout that comes when newbies are mocked online is that they often stop asking for help. And then on top of that, posts get hijacked by other people responding to the person, and then there's some infighting that goes on there, and eventually the whole question that the person asked is forgotten in the mess. Personally, I wouldn't ask a question about towing capabilities or tires online. I would do my own research and then go from there. Now, despite the negativity that you see online, there is an awful lot of good out there. There are Facebook groups that actually help people get on the road when they've broken down. I've actually read stories where someone drove 500 miles to bail out a family that had broken down on the way to Disney. They hooked up their trailer and towed it all the way to Disney's campground and actually saved their vacation. So, and there's a lot of stories like that. That's just not one instance. I've read a lot of that. So that is awesome. And also during hurricanes and wildfires and floods, you'll see a lot of RVers out there on site saying, hey, if you need a place to stay, come in, pull in my driveway, stay there until things are good. And all of that is great. So even though social media can be a curse, it can also be a blessing. Now, for instance, YouTube is a great way to learn how to maintain your trailer. There's a couple caveats, but everything from doing the repairs, reading RV reviews that are specific to a certain brand, and then training on certain things that exist on your trailer. So it has its own limitations. The pros are you can find a video for just about anything, and visual learners are going to find that much easier to follow than reading instructions, printed instructions. The downside is videos are often edited, and it makes the repairs look a lot easier than they are. They edit out a lot of the steps, perhaps, and also all the swearing that goes along with it. At least if you're watching my videos, I try to edit that out. I'm always kind of shocked at some of the things that I find. So, wheel bearings, for instance, is not a 15-minute job, despite what you might see online. And then repair techniques vary among creators. It's smart to watch several different channels to get an idea of what the repair is going to entail, because sometimes they do things differently. So get a real flavor for what you're up against before you make a decision. Also, some information on YouTube may go against the manufacturer's recommendations. For instance, if you have an Alpha roof system, you may get recommendations to use a cleaner on it that is not recommended by the manufacturer, which may actually void your warranty. So that's something you have to keep in mind when you watch these videos. And also, what works for an experienced RVer may not work for you. Also there's a combination too. You may watch a bunch of videos and then have a friend who's pretty handy and bring him along, and that'll aid you in your repair or whatever you're trying to do. If you're new to RVing or just trying to solve a problem, be cautious about where you get your advice. Take everything you read on social media with a grain of salt. And when it comes to your tow setup, RV maintenance, or safety questions, always start with your owner's manual and then research multiple sources as well, and trust the ones that are reputable and respectful. And more importantly, look for helpers. There are actually people online, and you'll see them post again and again in forums where they have a real reputation for being kind, knowledgeable, and helpful, and learn from them. And then try to be one of them, and then carry that over into your camping experience when other people are struggling, and you can actually help them out. In a world where social media can be so negative, be someone who brings out the best. And we're all just trying to get down the road together. So keep that in mind. And until next time, happy camping.